Mel Gibson was born on January 3rd, 1956 in Peekskill, New York, and moved with his parents to Sydney, Australia when he was 12 years old. He studied acting at the Australian National Institute of Dramatic Art. Gibson has produced, directed, and starred in many films. He has done everything in the filming business. He also has won nominees for Best Acting and Best Director. The narrative is a flashback coming from a true story. Desmond and his brother Hal Dawes grew up under an abusive father who served in the army. When Des smacks his brother across the face with a brick, he experiences firsthand the horrors of nearly killing another person. He is traumatized and remorseful, though it's never explained why he would adopt these feelings when he so quickly restored to pick up a brick in the first place, even if to upsetly subdue his brother. Continuing with the ridiculous timeline, the story now picks up 15 years later, where Desmond is now an adult and harboring a knack for medical skills and the work of the Lord. He is now a combat medic in the army, but refuses to hold a gun because he listens to the Lord and his Bible, referring not to kill. Desmond Dawes is a brown character who goes through hardship by almost killing his brother. He is now finding a way with the Lord. He is a young, good-looking man in his 20s, and he wears slacks, regular black shoes, and a button-up. But mostly he is in his uniform as a combat medic. He is a holy person who devotes his life to the Lord. The setting first starts in Virginia, where men were signing up to join the military. Then it transferred to Okinawa, where one of the most bloodiest battles in World War II Pacific Theater. The film is a continuity, a very flowing film. The editor used mainly one effect of transition, was basically going from non-combat to a scene where gunfire and explosions start. Mostly I would say, but he did use some flashback scenes. I would say that most transitions call attention to themselves to really grasp the hardship of war. The editor wanted an audience to believe, so that's why he put the interview material at the end of Hacksaw Ridge to add veracity to Desmond's story. The cinematography in this film is outstanding, from the angles to the camera moving. For instance, when Dawson will move place from place, grabbing soldiers, helping them, to the angles of the action, extreme close-up shots would be used when Dawson was treating a wounded soldier. Then medium shots would show the action and shooting of the men trying to get cover in the trenches. Then extreme launch shots would be used to show the explosion of grenades. The POV shots do represent a character's point of view. For instance, when the general is being shot at by the Japanese and Dawson treating a wounded soldier and saving his life. When analyzing a particular actor, Andrew Garfield, I would say he is more than perfect on playing Desmond Doss. This actor was used because he had played big roles before. He plays Spider-Man. It is very necessary for an actor to look the part, because you wouldn't have a fat person playing the role of a soldier. In this case, the actor really made me feel that he wasn't acting, that it was true. I don't know if it is because it's a true story or is it because he played major roles before. And he is a very outstanding actor. The actor achieved this effect because when he acts, he uses all his emotions and tries to be the actual actor. I would say the design creates correct time, spaces, and mood, thus being a war movie. And the elements of the design, again, it is a war movie, so the props, costumes, makeup, and hairstyles were easy to create because they had background to look at and design. The use of light was great because the film was mostly outside, creating scenes in the morning, evening, and night. The design relates to the narrative because of the time of this film was in World War II, and I would say it renders the narrative secondary. In this film, there's many memorable quotes. With the world so set on tearing itself apart, it doesn't seem like such a bad thing to me to want to put a little bit back together. While everybody else is taking life, I'm going to be saving it. I want to be a medic. I figure I'll be saving people, not killing. I'm sorry, Sergeant, I can't touch a gun. And the most memorable one is, please Lord, help me get one more. The title is Hacksaw Ridge, and once you watch the movie, I'm guaranteed you'll know it. They actually tell you. In the movie, Hacksaw Ridge is actually the combat area where the soldiers go into war. This is where the main character, Dawson, saves 100 people. He goes back and he prays to the Lord, help me save one more, help me save one more. This is where he helps saves 100 people's lives. What's different about this film is how they found the story of this way back in World War II. I don't know how they managed to find it, but I'm glad they did, because this is a great film and it's gonna bring attention to everyone. This is gonna bring great audience and it's gonna be a great film to watch. And this is a very influential movie too, so I think a lot of people will be watching this. Overall, this was a great film, and I'm glad I watched it, because this is an eye-opening movie, and coming from a true story, this changes my perspective on life now. And this shows that there's good people out there, and God is real, and if you're willing to stay on his path, then good things will happen.